Happy day students, welcome to San Academy Pallikkaranai. This is class 8, History chapter 2 from Trade to Territory. Today let us see the part 2 video of the lesson. To begin with, let me explain you about the Tiger of Mysore. As discussed in the part 1 of this video, you would have understand that how the British rulers were able to acquire various Indian territories under its rule. Now let us see about what happened in other side of the provinces in India. So let me tell you about the Tiger of Mysore, Tipu Sultan. He was the ruler of Mysore from 1782 to 1799, and not only that, he was a very good scholar, soldier and also a poet. He was the eldest son of Hyder Ali, and he promoted the widespread use of Hindustani language in southern India. He also established a close relationship with the French in India and modernized his army with their help. Let us see about Anglo-Mysore War. The British were furious because they saw Hyder Ali and Tipu Sultan as ambitious, arrogant and dangerous rulers who had to be controlled and crushed. So, 4 wars were fought with Mysore. So, only in the last, the Battle of Srirangapatnam, the company ultimately won a victory. Tipu Sultan was killed defending his capital Seringamapatnam. Now let us see what happened in the war with Marathas. The first Anglo-Maratha War took place in the year 1775 to 1782 between British and Marathas. The second Anglo-Maratha War took place in Delhi in the year 1803. The third Anglo-Maratha War took place in the year 1817 to 1818. Finally, this third Anglo-Maratha War crushed Maratha power. The Peshwa was removed and sent away to Bidpur near Kanpur with a pension. The company now had the complete control over the territories that is situated to the south of the Vindhyas. Now let us see about what is meant by the claim of paramountcy. It is clear from the above that from the early 19th century onwards, the company pursued an aggressive policy of territorial expansion. So it was under Lord Hastings, a new policy of paramountcy was initiated. The company claimed that its authority was paramount. The meaning of paramount is supreme, and hence its power was greater than that of Indian states. In order to protect the interest, it was justified in annexing or threatening to annex any Indian kingdom. This view continued to guide later British policies as well. The doctrine of LAPSE. Let us discuss about the important guidelines that is prescribed in this act. The final wave of annexations occurred under Lord Dalhousie, who was the Governor General from 1848 to 1856. He devised a policy that came to be known as the doctrine of LAPSE. The doctrine declared that if an Indian ruler died without a male heir, his kingdom would lapse. That is, it may become a part of the company territory. So, one kingdom after another was annexed simply by applying this doctrine. Some of the example of annexed territories are Satara, Sambalpur, Udaipur, Nagpur and Jhansi. Finally, in 1856, the company also took over Awadh. This time, the British had an added argument that they said they were obliged by duty to take over Awadh in order to free the people from the misgovernment of the Nawab. Now, the next is subsidiary alliance introduced by Lord Wellesley. So, Warren Hastings, as he was the Governor General from 1773 to 1785, he was one of the many important figures who played a very significant role in the expansion of the company power. So the doctrine of subsidiary alliance was introduced by Wellesley. This policy played a major role in British expansion of India. According to this doctrine, the Indian ruler entering into this alliance must accept British forces within his territory, and also he agrees to pay for their maintenance. He should also not declare war against any powers without the permission of the British, and when he fails to pay the prescribed amount as alliance, as subsidiary alliance, then what happens? The company will take over a part or a region of his kingdom as penalty. Now let us see the development that happened in the company army. The colonial rule in India brought in some new ideas of administration and reforms, but its power rested on its military strength. The traditional Mughal army actually comprised of cavalry, infantry, soldiers. So this was according to the traditional Mughal army, how their army looked like and what it consisted of. The company's army consisted of sepoys who were professional soldiers, and they were increasingly subjected to European styles. They were forced to follow the European styles. Basically, they were Indian sepoys, but the British rulers forced them to follow the European styles to strengthen their army. So conclusion. So we have come to the conclusion of the lesson, students. So the East India Company, who started as a trading company initially, later on started to interfere and finally took control over the local administration. This we saw in several instances, like how the Britishers were able to acquire or annex the different territories over the country. Through various reforms and changes socially, politically and economically, what happened? It took full control over 63% of the Indian territories and 78% of the population. So by 1857, the company came to exercise direct rule in annexing the territory. The East India Company had virtually controlled the whole of India in its administration. This is the end of the lesson. Thank you, students.